it's Dr. Erin, and I'm here talking about how teens may be suffering the most at this time. So those who have those parents who have adolescents and teens and young adults home from college may be seeing some signs of depression and anxiety, and that's pretty normal. So anytime a child or adolescent, young adult is sort of impeded from pursuing their developmental challenge, their developmental tasks, their developmental goals, there's sort of a depression that comes with that. And ironically enough, for teens, adolescents, and young adults, their primary developmental task is identity formation, individuation, and separation. And so, they're really trying to get traction launching. And so when that's sort of halted and they're not able to sort of pursue that developmental challenge, there can be some depression and some anxiety that comes with that. And understanding that is really important. So identity formation is a big deal for an adolescent. So every step that they take towards independence, every decision that they make that's independent of what their parent or attachment figure thinks or feels is really a big deal. And it forces them to think about who they are in relationship to the world. And a lot of the times adolescents and teens make hundreds of decisions a day about that we forget about. And those decisions carry a lot of weight because teens are pretty critical. So it's a stressful time. It's an anxiety-inducing time. And so there's a lot of insecurities, anxiety, and self-consciousness that comes in the adolescent, teens, and young adult years. And so that it's baseline just a time where kids are just a little bit more self-critical. And so now is a tough time because normally they are out in the world trying to get some traction on launching, and now they're sort of trapped at home and trying to keep up with maybe a social cohort or their social group, social networking, and maybe they do have issues with sort of being more shy, introverted, a little bit more conscientious, a little bit more concerned about what people think developmentally. That's really normal. And so they sort of lose traction with their group. And a lot of the times I see that. So kids in therapy will come in and say, I want to say something, but I get worried, and I'm worried about what people think, and I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. I'm really careful and thoughtful, and those are wonderful attributes that will serve them well in life. However, it's hard when there's online communication and things move at a very fast pace, and it's sort of a social group chat, and kids who are more careful, more conscientious, more thoughtful about their communication sometimes fall behind, and it's very, very quick. It's very easy to get left behind in a group chat or a group discussion, and then after losing a little bit of ground, it's very hard to just aggressively insert yourself back into the conversation because it sounds sort of obtruse. So in many instances, these kids really sort of spend a lot of time feeling anxious about texts. Did I say the right thing? Did I say the wrong thing? It's very hard sometimes to decipher a text when there's not facial expressions or nonverbal communication that they can pick up on, or intonation, voice intonation, so for sometimes group texts and chats. And so it can be very confusing and difficult for teens and young adults because their only outlet is online communication with their friends, and sometimes for shyer kids it's hard to keep up with that. So this is a tough time for teens and adolescents for a number of different reasons. And so a couple of things that parents can do is really, really empathize with feeling that every parent can go back to their teen years when they remember feeling self-conscious and worried and anxious about what people thought. Peer acceptance is a primary need in adolescence. It's very normal. And sometimes 47-year-old parents forget how important it is to be accepted by peers, and so they may not honor that need and that feeling. But that's really important to honor for your teen and that young adult, that you really want to be accepted, you really worry about being accepted. I get it, I used to feel like that. So empathizing with whatever they're going through is really important. Then really trying to, if they do feel like they're in distress, if they do feel like they're feeling left out from their social cohort, then what you really want to do is empathize with those feelings, but also after you empathize with those feelings, remind them of who they are. You know, you're conscientious, you're thoughtful, you're kind. Those qualities may not serve you well right now, but in the future, in the long run, they are really the most important capabilities that a human being has to offer. And so emotional IQ is really, really important and really valued right now. And it's especially crucial in this time. So reminding them of who they are and reminding them that their deeper capacities that might not serve them well in this context will really, really, really serve them well in life. And getting them outside. So asking them, can you, why don't we grab the dog and go for a walk? I know you don't feel like it, but let's go. Like, let's try and get out there. And also making them laugh. So figuring out, what strikes their funny bone. So maybe it's old SNL skits from the 80s. Maybe it's Dave Chappelle. Maybe it's, who knows? Maybe it's Kate McKinnon. But whatever, maybe it's funny dog and cat videos. Whatever it is, you want to exploit that. Find out what strikes their funny bone and start putting that material in front of them and laugh with them. And getting out in nature and laughing, empathy, and reminding them who they are through validating those deeper emotional capacities. Those are really important, critical things to do right now with your teen and young adult. So, those are my mama therapy tips. Good luck.